Hi guys, I'm back. Today's the 29th of May, June 2021. Today I'm going to read Exodus 26 to 30, Proverbs 29, and Psalm 32. Let's get started. Make 10 curtains out of finely twisted linen for the holy tent. Make them with blue, purple, and bright red yarn. Have a skilled worker sew cherubim into the pattern. Make all the cherubim curtains the same size. They must be 42 feet long and 6 feet wide. Join 5 of the curtains together. Do the same thing with the other 5. Make loops out of blue strips of cloth along the edge of the end curtain in one set. Do the same thing with the end curtain in the other set. Make 50 loops on the end curtain of the one set. Do the same thing on the end curtain of the other set. Put the loops across from each other. Make 50 gold hooks. Use them to join the curtains together so that the holy tent is all one piece. Make a total of 11 curtains out of goat hair to put over the holy tent. Make all 11 curtains the same size. They must be 45 feet long and 6 feet wide. Join 5 of the curtains together into one set. Do the same thing with the other 6. Fold the 6th curtain in half at the front of the tent. Make 50 loops along the edge of the end curtain in the one set. Do the same thing with the other set. Then make 50 bronze hooks. Put them in the loops to join the tent together all in one piece. Let the extra half curtain hang down at the rear of the holy tent. The tent curtains will be 8 inches longer on both sides. What is left over will hang over the sides of the holy tent and cover it. Make a covering for the tent. Make it out of ram skins that are dyed red. Put a covering of the other strong leather over that. Make frames out of acacia wood for the holy tent. Make each frame 15 feet long and 2 feet 3 inches wide. Add 2 small wooden pins to each frame. Make the pins stick out so that they are even with each other. Make all the frames for the holy tent in the same way. Make 20 frames for the south side of the holy tent, and make 40 silver bases to go under them. Make 2 bases for each frame. Make 2 bases for each frame. Put one under each pin that sticks out. For the north side of the holy tent, make 20 frames and 40 silver bases. Put 2 bases under each frame. Make 6 frames for the west end of the holy tent. Make 2 frames for the corners at the far end. At those 2 corners, the frames must be double from top to bottom. They must be fitted into a single ring. Make both of them the same. There will be 8 frames and 16 silver bases. There will be 2 bases under each frame. Also make crossbars out of acacia wood. Make 5 for the frames on one side of the holy tent. Make 5 for the frames on the other side. And make 5 for the frames on the west, at the far end of the holy tent. The center crossbar must reach from end to end at the middle of the frames. Cover the frames with gold. Make gold rings to hold the crossbars. Also cover the crossbars with gold. Set up the holy tent in keeping with the plan I showed you on the mountain. Make a curtain out of blue, purple, and bright red yarn and finely twisted linen. Have a skilled worker sew cherubim into the pattern. Hang the curtain with gold hooks on 4 posts that are made out of acacia wood. Cover the posts with gold. Stand them on 4 silver bases. Hang the curtain from hooks. Place the Ark of the Covenant law behind the curtain. The curtain will separate the holy room from the most holy room. Put the cover on the Ark of the Covenant law in the most holy room. The cover will be the place where sin is paid for. Place the table outside the curtain on the north side of the holy tent, and put the lampstand across it on the south side. Make a curtain for the entrance to the tent. Make it out of blue, purple, and bright red yarn, and finally just linen. Make a person who sews skillfully make it. Make gold hooks for the curtain. Make 5 posts out of acacia wood. Cover them with gold, and make 5 bronze bases for them. Build an altar out of acacia wood. It must be 4 feet 6 inches high and 7 feet 6 inches square. Make a horn stick out from each of its upper 4 corners. The horns and the altar must be all one piece. Cover the altar with bronze. Make everything for the altar out of bronze. Make its pots to remove the ashes. Make its shovels, sprinkling bowls, meat forks, and pans for carrying ashes. Make a bronze grate for the altar. Make a bronze ring for each of the 4 corners of the grate. Put the grate halfway up on the altar on the inside. Make poles out of acacia wood for the altar. Cover them with bronze. Put the poles through the rings. They will be on 2 sides of the altar for carrying it. Make the altar out of boards. Leave it hollow. It must look just like what I showed you on the mat. Make a courtyard for the holy tree. The south side must be 150 feet long. It must have curtains that are made out of finely twisted linen. The curtains must be hung on 20 posts that have 20 bronze bases. The posts must have silver hooks and bands on them. The north side must be about 150 feet long. It must have 20 curtains. Must have curtains with 20 posts that have 20 bronze bases. The posts must have silver hooks and bands on them. The west end of the courtyard must be 75 feet wide. It must have curtains with 10 posts that have 10 bases. The east end of the courtyard toward the sunrise must also be 75 feet wide. On one side of the entrance, you must put curtains that are 22 feet 6 inches long. Hang them on tree posts. Each post must have a base. On the other side, you must also put curtains that are 22 feet 6 inches long. Hang them on 3 posts. Each post must have a base. For the entrance to the courtyard, provide a curtain 30 feet long. Make it out of blue, purple, and bright red yarn and finely twisted linen. Have someone who skillfully make it. Hang on 4 posts. Each post must have a base. All the posts that are around the courtyard must have silver bands and hooks. They must also have bronze bases. The courtyard must be 150 feet long and 75 feet wide. It must have curtains that are made out of finely twisted linen. They must be 7 feet 6 inches high. The posts must have bronze bases. Make out of bronze all the other things used for any purpose in the holy tent. That includes all the tent stakes for the oil for the tent and the courtyard. Command the Israelites to bring you clear oil made from pressed olives. Use it to clear the lamps burning, keep the lamps burning, and give them light. Aaron and his sons must keep the lamps burning in the tent of meeting. And the lamps will be outside the curtain in front of the tablets of the covenant law. The lamps must be kept burning in front of the Lord from evening till morning. This is a law for the Israelites that will last for all time to come. Have your brother Aaron brought to you from among the Israelites. His sons Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar must also be brought. They will serve me as priests. Make sacred clothes for your brother Aaron. When he is wearing them, people will honor him. They will have respect for him. Speak to all the skilled workers. I have given them the skill to do this kind of work. Tell them to make clothes for Aaron. He will wear them when he is set apart to serve me as priest. The workers must make an checkcloth, a linen apron, and an outer robe. They must also make an inner robe, a turban, and a belt. They must make sacred clothes for your brother Aaron and his sons. Then they will serve me as priest. Have the workers use thin gold wire and blue, purple, and bright red yarn, and fine linen. Make the linen apron out of thin gold wire, and out of blue, purple, and bright red yarn, and out of finely twisted linen. Have a skilled worker make it. It must have 2 shoulder straps joined to 2 of its corners. Its skillfully made waistband must be like the apron. The waistband must be part of the apron itself. Make the waistband out of thin gold wire, and out of blue, purple, and bright red yarn, and out of finely twisted linen. Get 2 onyx stones. Carve the names of the sons of Israel on them. Arrange them in the order of their birth. Carve 6 names on one stone, and 6 on the other. Carve the names of the sons of Israel on the 2 stones the way a jewel cutter would carve them. Then put the stones in fancy gold settings. Connect them to the shoulder straps of the linen apron. The stones will stand for the sons of Israel. Aaron must carry the names on his shoulders as a constant reminder while he is serving the Lord. Make fancy gold settings. Make 2 braided chains out of pure gold. Make them like ropes. Join the chains to the settings. Make a chesscloth that will be used for making decisions. Have a skilled worker make it. Make it like the linen apron. Use thin gold white and blue, purple, and bright red yarn, and finely twisted linen. Make it 9 inches square. Fold it in half. Put 4 rows of valuable jewels on it. Put carnelian, chrysolite, and beryl in the first row. Put turquoise, lapis lazuli, and emerald in the second row. Put jacinth, agate, and amethyst in the third row. And put topaz, onyx, and jasper in the fourth row. Put them in fancy gold settings. Use a total of 12 stones. Use 1 for each of the names of the sons of Israel. Each stone must be carved with the name of one of the 12 tribes. Make braided chains out of pure gold for the chestcloth. Make them like ropes. Make 2 gold rings for the chestcloth. Connect them to 2 corners of it. Join the 2 gold chains to the rings at the corners of the chestcloth. Join the other ends of the chains to the 2 settings. Join them to the shoulder straps on the front of the linen apron. Make 2 gold rings. Connect them to the outer 2 corners. Other 2 corners on the chestcloth. Put them on the inside edge next to the apron. Make 2 gold 2 more gold rings. Connect them to the bottom of the shoulder straps on the front of the apron. Put them close to the seam. Put them right above the waistband of the apron. The rings of the chest cloth must be tied to the rings of the apron. Tie them to the waistband with blue cord. Then the chest cloth will not swing out from the linen apron. When Aaron enters the holy room, he'll carry the names of the sons of Israel over his heart. Their names will be on the chest cloth of decision. There will be a continuing reminder while he is serving the Lord. Also put the Urim and Thummim into the chest cloth. Then they will be over Aaron's heart when he comes to serve the Lord. In that way, Aaron will always have what he needs to make decisions for the people of Israel. He will carry the Urim and Thummim over his heart while he is serving the Lord. Make the outer robe of the linen apron completely out of blue cloth. In the center of the robe, make an opening for the head of the priest. Make an edge like a collar around the opening. Then it will not tear. Make pomegranates out of blue, purple, and bright red. Sew them around the hem of the robe. Sew gold bells between them. Sew a gold bell between every 2 pomegranates all around the hem of the robe. Aaron must wear the robe when he serves as priest. The bells will jingle when he enters the holy room while he is serving the Lord. They will jingle when he goes out. Then he will not die. Make a plate out of pure gold. Carve words on it as if it were an official seal. Carve the words set apart from the Lord. Tie the plate to the front of the turban with a blue cord. Aaron must wear this plate on his forehead all the time. He will be held responsible for all the sacred gifts the Israelites set apart. Then the Lord will accept their gifts. Make the inner robe out of fine linen, and make the turban out of fine linen. The belt must be made by a person who sews skillfully. Make inner robes, belts, and caps for Aaron's sons. When they are wearing them, people will honor them. Put all these clothes on your brother Aaron and his sons. Then pour olive oil on them and prepare them to serve me. Set them apart to serve me as priests. Make linen underwear that reaches from the waist to the thigh. Aaron and the priest and his family line must wear it when they enter the tent of meeting. They must also wear it when they approach the altar to serve in the holy room. Then they will not be found guilty and die. For all time to come, that will be a law for Aaron and the priest in his family line. Here's what you must do to set apart Aaron and his sons to serve me as priests. They must not have any flaws. Get the finest wheat flour. Make round loaves of bread that do not have yeast in them. Make thick loaves of bread that do not have yeast in them. Mix olive oil into the thick loaves of bread. Also make thin loaves of bread that do not have yeast in them. Brush the thin loaves with olive oil. Put everything in a basket. Offer them along with the bull and the 2 rams. Then bring Aaron and his sons to the entrance to the tent of meeting. Wash them with water. Take the inner robe, the outer robe of the linen apron, the apron itself, and the chest cloth. Dress Aaron in them. Take the skillfully made waistband and tie the apron on him with it. Put the turban on his head. Connect the sacred plate to the turban. Take the anointing oil and pour it on his head. Bring his sons and dress them in their inner robes. Put caps on their heads. Tie belts on Aaron and his sons. The work of the priest belongs to them. This is my law that will last for all time to come. Then you must prepare Aaron and his sons to serve me. Bring the bull to the front of the tent of meeting. Have Aaron and his sons place their hands on its head. Kill it in front of the Lord at the entrance to the tent of meeting. Dip your finger into some of the bull's blood. Put on the horns that stick out from the upper 4 corners of the altar. Then take all the fat from the inside parts. Take the long part of the liver. Get both kidneys with the fat on them, and burn all of it on the altar. But burn the bull's beak, hide, and guts outside the camp. It is a sin offering. Get one of the rams. Have Aaron and his sons place their hands on its head. Kill it. Take the blood and splash it against the sides of the altar. Cut the ram into pieces. Wash the inside parts and the legs. Put them with the head and the other pieces. Then burn the whole ram on the altar. It is a burnt offering to me. It has a pleasant smell. It is a food offering presented to the Lord. Get the other ram. Have Aaron and his sons place their hand on its head. Kill it. Put some of its blood on the right earlobes of Aaron and his sons. Put some on the thumbs of their right hands. Also put some on the big toes of their right feet. Then splash the blood against the side of the altar. Get some of the blood from the altar. Also get some of the anointing oil. Sprinkle both of them on Aaron and his sons. Aaron and his clothes, and on his sons and their clothes. Then he and his sons and their clothes will be set apart to serve the Lord. Here's what you must take from the second ram. Take the fat tail, and the fowl around the inside parts. Take the long part of the liver. Let's take both kidneys with the fat on them. and the right thigh. It is the ram you must use when you prepare the priest to serve the Lord. Get 1 brown loaf of bread and 1 thick loaf of bread with olive oil mixed in. You should get 1 thin loaf of bread. Take them from the basket of bread made without yeast. It is the one in front of the Lord. Put all these things in the hands of Aaron and his sons. Tell them to lift them up and wave them in front of the Lord as a wave offering. Then take all these things from their hands, burn them on the altar along with the burnt offering. Its smell pleases the Lord. It is a food offering presented to the Lord. Get the breast of the ram used when you prepare Aaron to serve the Lord. Wave it in front of the Lord as a wave offering. It will be your share of the meat. Here are the parts of the second ram that belong to Aaron and his sons. You must set apart the breast that was waved and the thigh that was offered. It will be the regular share from the Israelites for Aaron and his sons. The people must give it to the Lord from their friendship offerings. Aaron's sacred clothes will belong to his sons who will come after him. Then they can wear them when you anoint them and prepare them to serve the Lord. The son who comes after Aaron as a priest must wear them 7 days. He will come and serve in the holy room in the tent of meeting. Get the ram sacrifice when you prepare Aaron and his sons to serve the Lord. Cook the meat in a safe place. Aaron and his sons must eat the ram meat, and they must eat all the bread in the basket. He must eat all the of it at the entrance to the tent of meeting. These are the offerings to pay for their sins. They must eat them. The offering must be made when Aaron and his sons are set apart and prepared to serve the Lord. No one else can eat them. They are sacred. When you prepare Aaron and his sons to serve me, you sacrifice the ram and the bread. If any parts of the ram or bread are left until morning, burn them up. They must not be eaten. They are sacred. Do everything I have commanded you to do for Aaron and his sons. Take 7 days when you prepare them to serve the Lord. Sacrifice a bull each day. It is a sin offering to pay for their sins. Make the altar pure. Pour olive oil on it to set it apart. Take 7 days to make the altar pure. Set it apart. Then the altar will be a very holy place. Anything that touches it will be holy. Every day sacrifice on the altar 2 lambs that are a year old. Sacrifice one in the morning and the other one when the sun goes down. Along with the first lamb, offer 3½ pounds of fine flour. Mix it with a quart of oil made from pressed olives. Along with that, sacrifice a quart of wine as a drink offering. Sacrifice the other lamb when the sun goes down. Sacrifice it along with the same grain offering and its drink offering as you do in the morning. It is a pleasant smell. It is a food offering presented to the Lord. For all time to come, this burnt offering must be sacrificed regularly. Sacrifice it at the entrance to the tent of meeting in front of the Lord. Then I will meet with you and speak to you. Then I will assert me with the people of Israel. My glory will make the place holy. So I will set apart the tent of meeting and the altar. And I will set apart Aaron and his sons to serve me as priests. Then I will live among the people of Israel, and I will be their God. They will know that I am the Lord their God. And they will know that I brought them out of Egypt, so I live among them. I am the Lord their God. Make an altar for burning incense. Make it out of acacia wood. It must be 1½ feet square and 3 feet high. Make a horn stick out from each of its upper corners. Cover the top, sides, and horns with pure gold. Put a strip of gold around it. Make 2 gold rings for the altar below the strip. Put the rings across from each other. They will hold the poles that are used to carry. Make the poles out of acacia wood. Cover them with gold. Put the altar in front of the curtain that hangs in front of the ark. The ark is where the tablets of the covenant law are kept. The ark will have a cover. It will be the place where sin is paid for. Then I will meet with you. Aaron must burn sweet-smelling incense on the altar. He must do it every morning when he takes care of the lamps. He must burn incense again when he lights the lamps at sunset. Incense must be burned regularly in front of the Lord. Do it for all time to come. Do not burn any other incense on the altar. Do not use the altar for burnt offerings or grain offerings, and do not pour drink offerings on it. Once a year, Aaron must put the blood of sin offering on the horns of the altar. He must do this to make the altar pure. He must do this on the day Israel's sin is paid for. Do this for all time to come. The altar is a very holy place to me. And the Lord spoke to Moses. He said, make a list of the Israelites and count them. When you do, each one must pay the Lord for his life at the time he is counted. Then a plague will not come on them when you count them. Each one counted must pay 1/5 of an ounce of silver. It must be weighted out in keeping with the standard weights that are used in the sacred tent. The payment is an offering to the Lord. Each one canon must be 20 years old or more. You must give an offering to the Lord. When you make the offering, rich people must not give more than a fifth of an ounce of silver, and poor people must not give less. The offering you give to the Lord will pay for your lives. Receive the money from the people of Israel. Use it for any purpose in the tender meeting. It will remind the people that they are paying me for their lives. Then the Lord spoke to Moses. He said, make a large bowl, a bronze bowl for washing. Make a bronze stand to put it on. Place the bowl between the tent of meeting and the altar. Put water in it. Aaron and his sons must wash their hands and feet with water from it. When they enter the tent of meeting, they must wash with water so that they will not die. They will come to the altar to serve me. They will bring a food offering to the Lord. When they do, they must wash their hands and feet so that they will not die. For all time to come, this will be a law. That will be a law for Aaron and the priest and his family line. Then the Lord said to Moses, get some fine spices. Get 12 pounds, 8 ounces of liquid myrrh. Get 6 pounds, 4 ounces of sweet-smelling cinnamon and the same amount of sweet-smelling calamus. Also get 12 pounds, 8 ounces of cassia. All of the spices must be weighed out in keeping with the standard weights that are used in the sacred tent. And get a gallon of olive oil. And have a person who makes perfume mix everything into a sacred anointing oil. It will smell sweet. Then use it to anoint the tent of meeting and the ark with the tablets of the covenant law are kept. Anoint the table for the holy bread and all its things. Anoint the lampstand and the things that are used with it. Anoint the altar for burning incense. Anoint the altar for burnt offerings and all its tools. And anoint the large bowl together with its stand. You must set them apart so that they will be very holy. Anything that touches them will be holy. Anoint Aaron and his sons. Set them apart so that they can serve me as priests. Say to the people of Israel, they will be my sacred anointing of oil for all time to come. Do not pour on anyone else's body. Do not make any other oil in the same way. It is sacred, so you must think of it as sacred. Suppose a person makes perfume in the same way, and suppose that person puts it on someone who is not a priest. Then that person must be separated from their people. Then the Lord said to Moses, get some sweet-smelling spices. Get some gum resin, onion char, and galbanum. Also gets some pure frankincense. Make sure everything it is in equal amounts. Have a person who makes perfume mix it all up into a sweet-smelling incense. You must have salt in it. It will be pure and sacred. Grind some of it into powder. Place it in front of the ark of the covenant law in the tent of meeting. Then I'll meet with you. The incense will be very holy to you. Do not make any incense for yourselves in the same way. Think of it as holy to the Lord. Whoever makes incense in the same way to enjoy its sweet smell must be separated from their people. Proverbs 29. Whoever still won't obey after being warned many times will suddenly be destroyed. Nothing can save. When those who do right grow strong, the people are glad. But when those who do wrong become rulers, the people cry. A man who loves wisdom makes his father glad. But a man who spends time with prostitutes wastes his father's wealth. By doing what is right, a king makes their country secure. But those who only want money tear it down. But bless those who only pretend to praise their neighbors are spreading a net to catch them by the feet. Sinful people are trapped by their own sin. But godly people shout for joy and are glad. Those who do what is right want to treat poor people fairly, but those who don't do what is wrong don't care about the poor. Those who make fun of others stir up a city, but wise people turn anger away. Suppose a wise person goes to court with a foolish person. Then the foolish person gets mad and picks fun, and there's no peace. Murderers hate honest people. They try to kill those who do what is right. Foolish people let their anger run wild, but wise people keep themselves under control. Rulers listen to lies, all their officials become evil. The Lord gives sight to the eyes of poor people and those who treat others badly. That's what they both have in common. If a king judges poor people fairly, his throne will always be secure. If a child is corrected, they become wise. For a child who is not corrected brings shame to their mother. When those who do wrong grow stronger, so does sin. But those who do right will see them destroyed. If you correct your children, they will give you peace. They will bring you the delights you desire. But if there is no message from God, people don't control themselves. But blessed is the one who obeys wisdom and instruction. Sermons can't be corrected only by words. Even if they understand, they won't obey. Have you ever seen someone who speaks without thinking? There's more hope for foolish people than for that person. The servant who has been spoiled from youth will have no respect for you later on. An angry person stirs up fights, and a person with a bad temper commits many sins. Pride brings a person life, but those whose spirits are low will be honored. To help a thief is to become your own enemy. When you go to court, you won't dare to say anything. If you are afraid of people, it will trap you. But if you trust in the Lord, He will keep you safe. Many people want to be the Lord. No, only the Lord sees that people are true fair. Those who do right hate dishonest people. Those who do what is wrong hate honest people. Psalm 32. Blessed is the person whose lawless acts are forgiven, their sins have been taken away. Blessed is the person whose sin the Lord never counts against them. That person doesn't want to cheat anyone. When I keep silent about my sin, my body became weak, because I groaned all day long. Day and night you punished me. I became weaker and weaker, as I do in the heat of summer. Then I admitted my sin to you. I didn't cover up the wrong I had done. I said, I will admit my lawless acts to you, the Lord, and you forgave the guilt of my sin. Let everyone who is faithful will pray to you, and while they can still look to you. When troubles come like a flood, then He certainly won't reach those who are faithful. You are my hiding place. You will keep me safe from trouble. You will surround me with songs sung by those who praise you, because you save your people. I will guide you and teach you the way you should go. I will give you good advice and watch over you with love. Don't be like a horse or a mule. They can't understand anything. They have to be controlled by bits and bridles. If they aren't, they won't come to you. Silver people have all kinds of trouble, but the Lord's faithful love is all around those who trust in Him. Be glad because of what the Lord has done for you. Be joyful because you who do what's right. Sing, all you whose hearts are honest. Now that's done, I should add to the Lord's Prayer. Please bow your heads. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. See you tomorrow. Bye.